correct? Because you can't kill animals that destroy crops.
I kill animals that destroy crops, yeah.
Uh-huh.
This isn't what you originally asked, though.
Wait. I'm
No,
still,
I'm not going
I'm
to
still
wait.
trying to go
You're
on
not
with
going
this,
to
right?
direct the
So,
conversation. You wanted to talk about
So,
whether NTT is
in
a false dichotomy.
yeah, but I don't even think your position is non-vegan when AY
Okay, so
usually
you're including
what
what
he
I'm
said
doing as being
regards
vegan, though.
non-vegan positions. It's gonna depend, right? Just so I have all the
You're
so I have all
already
the
screwed.
details. Wait, how am I screwed? You
Because
haven't
you
even made
want
like
to include
you
what I
haven't even
just
made a point
described
yet.
as being vegan.
Yeah, that's a rhetoric tact, right? Because otherwise, it's generally going to lead you to mass starvation of, let's say, all these like pest animals are destroying crops. Should we let them do that, or should we all die? Right? I wouldn't see it as non-vegan to eliminate those pest animals.
So you see
So
it as
generally,
vegan.
other people could survive.
Okay, so I can
Sure.
eat meat. Is eating meat a vegan action?
Wait. That's not gonna apply. Like cases,
Answer the
right?
question.
Like
Is
if
eating meat a
no,
vegan
because you're
action?
giving a vague
No, right,
question.
it's
You're
not.
offering
So
a
I've
vague
got a good
question. Wait,
justification
no.
for
You have
not
not answered
being
the
vegan.
question.
What's the question?
You have given me a vague question. So first off, you're gonna have to include more
What?
details in this hypothetical. Where are
It's
we in
not
this
a
hypothetical?
hypothetical, you
So
dumbass.
when
It's a
you
real world scenario.
you're not even like you're literally pontificating. You're not even saying anything meaningful.
Do
If
you
somebody
know
asks me,
what you're talking
is
about?
eating meat non-vegan? It's going to be context dependent. Do
Yeah.
you not understand that, you
And
moron?
you
So I
know
can't
the
answer
context,
categorically.
right?
I can't
Dipshit,
answer
dumbass, retard.
categorically. No, because you didn't include it. You didn't include it in that question, right? You didn't include any context in that question. Since you're recording this, I think everyone
What are
gets to
you
see
talking
that you
about?
didn't include any context in that question. So if you're gonna ask me, is eating meat like wrong, right?
You've
It's
already
not gonna
said
it's
no, it's
not gonna
not.
be categorically wrong. Like I
Oh,
can't speak in
fucking.
all cases. Every case is context dependent. Like what?
Yeah, and we've got.
Joy, can you
So
mute?
Is somebody
so
else
can
trying to
you
talk?
so
Yeah,
can
not
you
Joy.
include so
Right,
can you include more context?
What do you want? What more detail do you want than what I've already
Yeah,
provided?
I want you to elaborate upon what's it called? The question of is eating meat immoral? I want you to
That
add more
wasn't the
context.
question. The question was, is it vegan?
I told you I can't answer categorically because it's going to be context
You already
dependent.
did. You said no, it's not vegan.
No, I didn't.
You did. I've recorded it.
Can you play back the recording and send that part, please?
I can upload it once we finished. Yeah, you bet.
So I'm not gonna say it's categorically wrong in all cases. I don't think I
Right. So
ever
what
said
about
that.
my case
I've
then?
been trying to explain to you it's context dependent, right?
Yeah.
So
So what about my context then? You're
if
just
you kill
bloviating.
okay, so now you've actually provided the context and said it's my situation, right?
Yeah.
So let's
Which has
say
always been the case.
we have your no, because the other question was incredibly vague and you didn't
I didn't
elaborate
ask
upon
you a
that. It was
question
just
other than is it vegan, to which you already answered no, it's not.
when no, I didn't. I said it's context
Even
dependent. I said
Terry
eating.
is saying no, it's
I
not.
said eating meat. I said eating meat is I said eating meat is context dependent. If anybody
Right.
would like
So
to tell me I said
in the
otherwise,
context that
I
I eat it, is it vegan to do that?
in the context that you eat it. So the context is that
It's just a yes or no.
if we
Even
don't,
Terry disagrees with you, and he's on
I'm just
cam.
wait. Terry is a retard, so why would I care whether he disagrees with
And
me?
you're really intelligent.
So I think
Come on.
in regards to whether your position is non-vegan,
Don't talk
if you're
about
killing
myself,
pests,
Terry, though.
Okay, so my
if you're
position is
if you're
non-vegan.
killing pest animals, if you're killing pest animals that are going to destroy crops, and that could possibly have like an if I say let's say I say something like yeah, that's not vegan. That's
Yeah.
going to have an entailment like if we have like
There
if
wouldn't
we
be
have
any further entailment other than that it's not
why do you
vegan.
keep like interrupting me?
Because
So
you're
let's say
stupid and you're wrong.
so another entailment of that could possibly be something like let's say like these pest animals start eating crops on like a mass scale, is it going to be okay to eradicate them? It would generally have to lead me to like saying something like yeah, that's not vegan to do so. If I answer your context with that's not vegan to do so, I think it is vegan to do so. So I wouldn't see
Okay,
NTT as a
so
false dichotomy.
you're just circling back. You think that it's vegan to do what I already described, which is going to be on the recording, which is kill animals on purpose, tear them to pieces, rip their skin off, chop them to bits, cook them up,
Leaving
and
out
eat
detail
them.
is a rhetoric tact. Everyone, I don't think I'm stupid. You're leaving out detail is a rhetoric tact. You kill pest animals which
How am I
destroy crops.
leaving out? Do you
You
want
kill
more
pest animals
details?
which destroy crops. You kill pest
Yeah.
animals, and you
Now,
keep leaving that out.
is it
That
vegan to
the
do that, or
context you
isn't
gave,
it?
the context you gave, you moron, can demonstrate that. If I answer
You can
yes,
call me a
it's gonna
moron as
look
much as you like,
incredibly
but
out of context
it's
and
not
look
going to
like
reflect right.
hunters are vegan. People who hunt, right? Your situation is completely different to a hunter situation,
So
which
what?
is also a situation you just described there. And I think there's a symmetry breaker because you kill
Do
pest
you?
animals.
Did you hear that from Bryn or ask yourself?
Did I hear that from Brynn? Ask yourself.
Yeah, the symmetry breaker. Is
Not
that what you
really.
heard? What's the symmetry breaker?
It's gonna be something that like distinguishes between these two situations. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, and what is it?
It's gonna be that you kill pest animals.
Yeah, which is always my position, always has been, has never failed to be that position. So what symmetry do you think you're breaking between two different positions that I hold?
Wait. So you also hold the position that hunting is okay?
Well, do you not think that it's hunting when I kill the pest animals?
I generally think regardless, right? You're killing pest animals,
Yeah,
which is
that's not
probably
actually an answer to the
a good
question,
thing.
though, is it?
I don't see how it being hunting is relevant in a sense, right?
Well, you brought it
Wait,
up.
so I'm confused now.
What
Is
are you trying to
hunting
say now,
deer
sir?
acceptable because deer are pests? So every person
This
in
guy
the
is
United
so
States
fucking
who is
stupid.
hunting deer.
Patty, shut up. You're not
Depends.
tracking.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait. Why are like multiple people interjecting, right?
It's
Right.
getting to the
So
point of
I don't
being
know. I don't
ridiculous.
control the room.
Wait. Sorry. If
So
SD
people
or
are
Outer
just
want-
confused.
Wait. If SD or Outer want someone else to chime in, I'm fine with that. Otherwise, you should probably let them go at
Yeah,
it.
sure.
So, SD,
Yeah.
in the situation you described, if these animals are like mass, generally like that, what?
It was
So if these,
I didn't say that.
animals are like destroying crops at like a rapid rate, as you described,
Yeah.
and it's incredibly difficult to try to remove them by other means, then no, I would not call that a non-vegan action.
You wouldn't call it a non-vegan action. That's what you just said, right?
No, I wouldn't call it a non-vegan action.
Okay, so it's vegan to kill them and eat them then.
Yeah.
How do
Hey,
you
guys.
not realize what you're saying?
I haven't. I
Guys.
do realize what I'm saying. I have an issue with the way you're phrasing it because I think you're leaving out context.
What?
Guys.
You've said that 3 times. What's the context
Yeah,
that you think
because
I'm
you
leaving
leave
out?
out context to the discussion every time.
What's
like
the
every time I
context?
answer, every time I offer the context to your situation. Where
It
you're
is
killing
my
these pests,
situation. You
you're
don't
killing-
need to
you're-
add context to
wait-
my situation. I've
wait,
already
wait.
given it to you, and you've
Yeah,
said that
because
it's not vegan.
Because I think every time I say that it's vegan, at the very end you get a comment like, "Oh yeah, so eating meat is vegan now." So I think you leave out tons of context.
What's the
And I think
context? What do
I-
you want to
the
know that I
context-
haven't told you?
You're not.
What do
you're
you want
not
to know?
adding, You're not adding on the context to the end answer that, oh yeah, if I kill pest animals and eat them, that is gonna be vegan. If it's very difficult to remove them by
if you
other
want
means.
to say that it's vegan, that's up to you, dude. I don't care. Nobody cares. What's the context? What's the information content that I'm leaving out according to you? Ask me something. I'll answer you. What do you want to know?
So every time you're going to every time you phrase the answer at the end, something like eating meat is vegan now. Like I have like an issue with that because it's always
Yeah,
context
because
dependent,
it's
right?
not vegan.
So I
That's
think
why.
So I do not think eating meat is like categorically non-vegan. I already
Well,
established.
that's up to you. You can argue with the other vegans about it.
Just like
Yeah.
third option.
But that means like NTT. It's just not gonna be a false dichotomy then.
Who cares
If
about
your
Do
position
you
is
know
gonna be
why
considered-
NTT
if you're
is a
con-
false dichotomy? Do you want to do that? Because
because you
you're
took
just
out,
going
like,
around in circles.
You took out like a context clip of AY saying all non-vegan positions are absurd.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
I don't think you.
That's a lie.
Have you asked him what he means by veganism?
That's a lie.
Are you asking him what he means by veganism?
He is on record as saying, and this isn't even his argument really, it's sort of a bastardization of Peter Singer's marginal cases argument, but AY is on the record as having said that NTT is supposed to be a quote-unquote sorting mechanism, right? To sort people into one of two categories, right? Two being a dichotomy. That's where the word comes from. There is a third category available. The first category that he offers is that you are going to be inconsistent. And we can talk about whether being inconsistent is a problem or not if you want, but I suspect you're going to want to pick on the second bit. The second possible category that he offers is consistent but absurd. And he's on the record as having said this. The third category, the one that I'm saying is missing, which is what makes it a false dichotomy, is consistent and non-absurd. And I've had like 100 debates on this, and this have come up quite a few times. Nobody's ever challenged me on it because the third category is available. That's what makes it a false dichotomy. It's a false dichotomy by definition.
So, I generally think in regards to whether your position is even non-vegan, it hasn't even been like substantiated correctly, right? Because usually you're going to say like out of these categories, why soft's a non-vegan, and you're going to have a non-vegan position which isn't absurd. So I just find it difficult to even hash out your position as non-vegan in the first place.
That sounds like a you problem. It's not a me problem.
So I wouldn't say like NTT is a false dichotomy.
Well, it is, and I just described why it is. If you don't think it is, like you realize that when you offer two positions, right, that's a dichotomy. If a third one is available,
yes, I know what
that's a false dichotomy.
Yeah, I know. I just deny that there's a third one available.
Well, I don't care if you deny that it's available. Why isn't it available?
Because I think your position isn't even non-vegan.
Because what?
I think your position is a non-vegan.
Okay, so?
Then
that's not. You're not even addressing the objection. Look, the third category is consistent and not absurd. That's the third category. It doesn't matter whether it's vegan or not.
So if you would like to say, then
do you understand what you're saying? Because you are making a complete twat.
No, we didn't.
Wait. If you would like to say, like vegans are also consistent and non-absurd under AY.
I didn't say that.
Okay, so
I said that my position, right? There is a third category. Do you get it? Do you get that much? Right? 1 + 1 is 2. That makes a dichotomy, right? Dichotomy is 2. He's not offering it as a trichotomy because that would involve 3 options. It's a dichotomy. That's 2. Okay? Do you get that?
Yeah, but I still think it's a dichotomy because I don't think.
It's not because there's a third option. And I've just explained why there's a third option. I'm not misunderstanding anything. I've been doing this for longer than you've been alive, dipshit.
So what I think you're misunderstanding here is the fact that you think it doesn't matter whether your position is vegan or non-vegan.
No, that's not my position. What is the matter with you?
What are you trying to say here?
Do I need to say it for a third?
I already explained to you that if your position,
Terry's getting
it. I already explained to you, SD, that if your
You
position
didn't explain.
is vegan,
I need a drink.
I would still consider it a dichotomy. If you would like to say you consider it a trichotomy because
it's
you're
not.
unconvinced your position is non-vegan or whatever,
No!
then that would be fine.
You are so stupid. Like, you have picked the worst person to do this with. Right? Because I'll just keep going on this. Right? 1 + 1 is 2. That's a dichotomy. Okay? Do you get that?
Yes, there are.
Good.
Yes, that is a dichotomy.
Right. If we add 1 to that, what does that make it?
That makes it a trichotomy.
Yes, so being a third option, right? So if somebody offers up only 2 options and you expose that there's a third one available, what does that make the dichotomy? It makes it a false dichotomy.
So do you think AY was speaking in regards to everyone's views, including vegans? Or do you think he was exclusively
I'm
saying
going by what he says.
that,
It's his fucking argument.
Do you think AY was exclusively saying that non-vegans are inconsistent?
Yes.
Or,
yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I've got evidence to back it up.
Okay, so those are the 2 categories for non-vegan, correct? If
No.
what you're doing...
Those are the 2 categories for everybody.
But you just told me he was speaking in regards to non-vegans before. Now you're saying it's everybody.
Yeah, if you want to say that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I did misspeak. You're right about that, right? But he has said, and like, I don't know why we're going round and round in circles on this, because I can easily show you that that's what he said. I know he's your hero, but if you knew him as well as I do, then you'd realize that saying that there's only 2 positions, and then when you establish that there's a third, that's a false dichotomy. Okay? Do you get that?
Yeah, but I still reject the existence of a third if AY was speaking.
So the third would just
to
be, right?
Exclusively non-vegans.
We would name the third category as consistent and not absurd. Right? That would be the third category. The fact that vegans want to say that that's not possible on a non-vegan worldview, that means nothing to anybody. It is possible. And I've exposed this time and time again. I debated fucking arco-perspective philosophy. I've debated them all on this.
Any vegan has said it's a contradiction. So...
Well, it would have to be.
So absurd is usually...
subjective.
Yeah, it's obviously a subjective thing, right?
Yeah, so it's a weak argument in the first place, and I'm steel-manning it.
But I want to ask you, do you think when AY said, there are 2, these are the 2 options NTT, do you think he was speaking in regards to non-vegans or vegans only?
I don't have the video to
in
hand.
Regards to non-vegans and vegans. Like, do you think he was speaking in regards to just non-vegans or non-vegans and vegans? What do you think he was speaking in regard to that?
Why don't you just say, like, to everybody then? 2 vegans and 2 non-vegans? It's a fucking video that he had on his channel. He took it down because it was fucking dumb.
Wait. SD. If AY was only speaking in regards to non-vegans, then it would not be. The problem is it would not be like a false dichotomy or whatever, right? Whatever you want to call it. If he was speaking,
do you not know the difference? Is that what the issue is?
I think you're misunderstanding here. So
trust me, it's not me.
Whoever was speaking about vegans and non-vegans here, then. If you're speaking in regards to vegans and non-vegans,
okay. So if he was applying it to non-vegans,
would be consistent and non-absurd then.
Shut up. If he was applying it to non-vegans, what would the dichotomy be then?
So if he was applying it to non-vegans,
which he obviously wasn't, because it was an argument for veganism, right? Supposedly.
So wait, is NTT an argument for veganism?
No,
I don't
it's
think
not.
it really is. I
It's
just
not,
think it's a
but
rhetoric tool.
Ask yourself thinks
So-
it is, and you think it is, and I'm discussing
Where
with you.
I don't think NTT is an argument for veganism. I've
Oh, good.
explicitly said
Go talk
it's
to
a
me about
rhetoric
it then.
tool, right? So it doesn't see, it just seems like NTT will attempt to demonstrate the non-vegan's view as inconsistent or absurd, right? So when NTT
Yes,
tries to do this,
that's
it's going to
how are you this stupid?
Okay,
You've just presented the dichotomy that I've been criticizing.
So now it's exclusively going to apply to non-vegans, correct?
You can apply
people
it to
who hold a
whoever you want.
non-vegan worldview.
Apply it to whoever you want.
Wait, you just agreed with me there. So if it's going to apply, if it's going to apply that like just with people that have like a non-vegan worldview, then we would need to hash out whether you have like a non-vegan worldview in the sense of what you do.
Yeah, but you've already said that mine isn't a non-vegan worldview, right? Because
yeah, exactly. So
I can just keep eating meat then.
So the dichotomy would hold. Also,
it's not a dichotomy, you stupid motherfucker. It's a trichotomy, or at least a false dichotomy.
For non-vegans, it's a dichotomy. If we're going to include vegans and like consider the category, if we're going to consider the category, if we're going to consider the category consistent and non-absurd, which would also include vegans, then
so you want to say that vegans can be consistent and non-absurd? It's supposed to apply to non-vegans, dude.
Yes, I'm fully aware. If NTT exclusively applies to non-vegans, the dichotomy holds because your position wouldn't be considered.
It does not hold.
Because your position, which debunks it, the claim that you have a non-vegan and a non-absurd position, which is also consistent, would take away from the fact that you have a non-vegan position and could not be considered in such category.
Is my position consistent?
Is your position consistent? Yep.
Is it absurd?
Nope.
Then I have a non-vegan position which is not absurd. Right?
Yeah, we never established your
yourself.
position is non-vegan. We never established your position is non-vegan.
All that is for you to admit that me eating meat is somehow compatible with veganism. I've recorded this, dude, and I am sick of your shit.
You're literally like just misunderstanding me here.
No, I'm not misunderstanding. You are misunderstanding.
SD, I'm trying to establish
I'm done. Right, I'm gonna pause. Right, I'll come back.
Wait.
No, listen. Don't tell people.
Are you just going mid-talk?
Listen.
Are you just going mid-conversation?
No.
Like, can you not even establish that your position is non-vegan before you like just dip?
Just listen. I didn't say I was gonna dip. Right. I need to take a leak. I'll come back in about 2 minutes. In the meantime, enjoy your Spurgfest. Okay.
I will wait for you to come back.
Cringe.
I'm sorry, Outer, but you're getting absolutely BTFO'd.
Wait. How am I getting
BTFO'd? He's not even letting Negated speak. ST's talking over Negated. He's not letting Negated clarify his position there.
I mean, not really. I don't think that's
position
the case.
is non-vegan. SD hasn't even established that with me. So if those two options are going to apply for non-vegans exclusively, and SD would like to say he has a non-vegan, non-absurd.
Look, your position reducts down to
you're literally just interrupting me again.
Being compatible with veganism, like dude, that's really what this is going to boil down to.
You're just me again, right? So.
Everyone's heard what you had to say.
The way SD presents his position as if it's non-vegan, but he hasn't clarified that with me yet. He just hasn't clarified with me yet. So when we're trying to clarify whether the position is non-vegan, non-absurd, and consistent, he needs to clarify it's non-vegan.
Terry, hello Terry.
He is already Outer.
Hi Terry.
It's already been supplied in this
Terry.
conversation that you think that the position. Yes,
Terry.
I'm saying your name, Terry.
Who said my name?
I'm not sure who it is. So you're already bringing to this conversation that because SD shoots animals in the face for farmers, that this is a non-vegan position to you. And it is because you associate them with pest animals. This can read up down to, and because you didn't want to make a defining difference between that of pest shooting and hunting, which to be fair, pest shooting is a form of hunting, you are almost like literally saying that a quarter of the United States, and I believe almost a quarter of the United States are hunters, maybe a little less than that, are actually compatible with veganism and do not need to change.
So generally regarding that, when I had established with SD the original question I was asking or whatever, it was something along the lines of if it's like extremely difficult or whatever to try to get these pests out another way, right? Because SD had spoken in regards to that, right? So I think he hunts specifically rabbits. Let's say if it's
he hunts rabbits, pigeons, and some other animals.
So let's say it's going to be incredibly different by trying to get them out by some other means. Then I wouldn't say his position is non-vegan if he's hunting those animals, right?
Right, I'm back.
Okay, so Outer, tomorrow afternoon, if someone invited you to go hunt some pest animals, would you do it?
It would be illegal for me to do that. I wouldn't be able to.
Yes, it's not illegal to do it with a responsible adult. I know some of the laws in your country.
If I was to go hunt pest animals, probably not. For other reasons rather than like moral wrongness or whatever.
What are those reasons? Oh, well, sorry, SD was back.
Nah, you can carry on if you want, unless Outer's got some more dumb shit to say.
We didn't establish that your position was non-vegan.
Okay, what are the reasons? Sorry, A4. Was that A4?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is it done? Is that conversation concluded, SD?
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, it is, yeah, because we're going around in circles and like he's sort of looping back and forth between a couple of different positions.
I don't think I looped back and forth.
Who's laughing? If whoever's laughing,
I think I made my point.
Guys, would you mind like just kind of going over it a little bit, because I was trying to get in, but the room was full, so I actually missed the whole conversation.
You're gonna put the whole room through this headache again?
Okay, yeah.
Really?
We're not
Is really?
Yeah, it's me. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested in hearing.
Sorry, Nick. I hate to just mute you like that, but I'm not interested in rehashing it. I'm interested in coming to the conclusion. I'm sorry. Was SD saying that like they were basically, it was circular and you were about done, or yeah?
I'm done. He can have the closing statement.
Was circular. I don't think the argument I provided was circular. It generally didn't seem to be like substance that the position was not vegan. Even though he was like shooting pest animals or whatever, right? I don't think that was substance that was non-vegan. If there's no other like effective means of moving them out. Okay. So it just generally seemed to
just want to say one. Oh, sorry, Outer. I didn't realize you weren't finished with your stupid.
Well, you can speak. I was just gonna answer Patty's question.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I have recorded this and I will upload it so people are gonna see that this was some like circular bollocks. It's been completely ridiculous.
Dog, that's a little fucked. Like, the argument was dumb, but you shouldn't just record people.
No, I've got permission.
We all agree on recording. I don't even think I misrepresented.
All right. Yeah. Also, just one super quick thing on that. I've got permission from the admins. Like, it wouldn't matter if I didn't, but I actually do have permission from the admins to record it.
Okay. So. No, I was making sure because.
Yeah, did you want to chat with Patty or?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let them go.
Yeah, but as far as what SD pointed out, I think for the most part it can be summarized pretty quickly. The whole history of NTT was to make it so that every non-vegan is either absurd or contradictory. And the absurd is big enough that it just means whatever the vegan wants it to mean. So in that sense, SD is correct. It is a false dichotomy. Vegans will perform as though any consistent answer to NTT is absurd, because if they don't, then they can see that NTT fails in its job. So anything in that using NTT has to grant
as a vegan, I would say that's absurd.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
So SD.
if I can like reiterate from what I understand about your argument, you're essentially saying that veganism is a moral obligation and animals don't have a sense of I, right?
This is Zoom, right? No, Zoom. You bastard! I hate you! You're my brother, but I hate you.
The recording's gonna be out. And y'all can see what the fuck happened.
Sorry, we're just having fun. Like some of these.
What do you mean, Garuda? Please don't.
Wrong in eating animals.
No, Garuda.
No, but I didn't get to even finish my debate earlier though, and I got cut off because this dude wanted to get his
No,
ass whipped.
let him talk, bro. Let him talk. Damn, y'all always want
Bruh.
Don't
worry, Garuda. You have plenty of time to troll for a good few hours, you know.
Bruh,
I'm
can
not
we
trolling though.
I'm so over this. Like I want to ban the Fellowship of Niggas. Like please.
Pause.
Okay, well, start with yourself and look in the mirror because I'm not one of you though.
Your
So.
point? Sorry, I was texting. I didn't hear it properly.
Actually, no. So you know what, Joy?
Why did
like,
Nick get muted?
Anytime you are dealing with fuckboys on any server, you gotta learn how to defend yourself. And if they come in a pack of 3, you call them the Fellowship of Niggas. Like you just straight up say that and they laugh.
Oh my god.
Don't use that word, please.
Patty, are you gonna debate like vegan water pistol tomorrow?
Guys, okay, we don't say the N-word here.
Shut up, nigga.
Yes, we do.
What are you talking about?
Shut up, you damn nigga.
Wait,
Okay, wait.
Like the moment we leave like outer and SD, it just becomes this.
Like,
I would prefer like the conversation between outer and SD to this. Like I prefer just like watching people trip over words.
What? Excuse me. Are you saying that you don't appreciate Black culture?
Exactly. That's what they're saying.
No.
Yeah, but can I finish? Can I finish what I was saying about how veganism is a religion?
Garuda, it's not.
Your mom's a religion. Your fucking mom's a religion. How about that one?
It's a boring argument. I mean, like.
Wait,
no,
Cuddles,
it's not
can
a
you
bargain
reiterate
argument.
your
It's
point?
not a bargain argument
Hey,
because
hey,
you have
SD, your mom's a boring argument.
Thank
you have the ideology that's saying that eating wrong meat is wrong.
We need
karma's gonna take me. I'm gonna die.
No, that's
and
not.
also,
That's
you have
not
this
what
thing, you have
veganism
the
is.
thing that's
Not what
saying
eating meat is
in the
wrong.
rapture. You have the thing saying in the rapture that if we don't go vegan, the world is gonna die and it's gonna be apocalyptic like the rapture.
No.
And then also too,
No,
you got
not
fucking vegans
necessarily.
going
No.
around like Jehovah
It's
Witness
just
bothering you when you're just walking on the street.
I think
Okay.
You know, it's not a
Wait. So 2 things. First of all, vegans don't think that eating meat itself is the problem, right? Second of all, vegans are not assuming that just by going vegan, like it's the only way to save the world, some bullshit like that, or that the world would necessarily be saved with people going vegan.
Yes,
okay, so do you believe eating meat is wrong and horrible?
No, that's not a vegan position. The problem with eating meats, generally speaking, is because the way that you acquire the meat would support the unnecessary exploitation and slaughter of sentient beings.
Yeah, not in
It's
my
really
case.
I shouldn't do it because
no
of
one
your
here would
belief
have an issue
system.
with that, for example.
Bruh.
So you think